Okay, we are live. Sorry for the wait. I had to get myself a drink and some cookies. And now I'm ready to edit some photos. How are you guys? I've already checked out the chat. Junichi is here. Raphael is here. Umareta is here. Danny is here. Good to see you guys. Let's do some editing. Okay, to recap, last week I went out 2 times to take photos, but we don't have too many photos to edit because most of them I have already edited a bit. A little back story. Where do I have this? Yeah, last week on Wednesday. Was it Wednesday or Thursday? I don't remember. On Wednesday, I just prepared this, but it doesn't look right. On my German channel, I uploaded a vlog from this day. I went to an international art exhibition. It's called Nord Art. Just gonna play it here in the background. And I was there because my grandfather had his work shown, or he has his work there, one of his art pieces. He was a painter. Here he is. And yeah, my mother told me about this and she asked me if we want to go there together as a family. So my brother and I and my mother, we went there. And I filmed a bit on my iPhone. There are not a lot of photographers. It's really just art. This is the only photographer I could find here. Yeah, and it was interesting because I don't really see that much art anymore. Contemporary art, that is. Yeah, and of course I had to be there to represent my grandfather and take some photos also for the gallery in Japan to maybe send them the photos because they probably applied for this. And yeah, I took some photos during this day and we were invited by the gallery. This was a day where only the artists were allowed to come and other important people, I don't know. And there was a long speech and there were some free cakes and coffee and yeah, I just need to edit these photos. And then yesterday I had my first group workshop, street photography workshop in Hamburg. So maybe I will also edit the photos from yesterday. But we will see. I don't want to stream that long. Last time I streamed 2 hours. That was a bit too long. What's up, Max? No, the only photographer was not me. There were other photographers just taking photos of the event. And besides this one photographer who I showed here in the video, I couldn't find any other photographers. Yeah, if you want to see the video, you can go to my German channel, see some impressions of the day. My little brother is also an artist, or he studied art. He's also doing paintings. And he, not so long ago, started to work with a gallery in Brussels, I think, in Belgium. So he is in this world right now, but he doesn't really like this. This is another photo project I saw. And I thought this was a little weak maybe because these look like photos that I would take with my GR when I travel. It was just about being at the airport. You see these photos? I don't know. I have my problems with conceptual art. Yeah, to make something out of something. This also was a little weird. It was cool, but also, yeah, a lot of weird stuff. There were a lot of Chinese artists and Japanese artists. The focus was also on Japan. This figure here is very creepy when you see it from the front. Probably can't show it here because you can see some. You can see her body parts basically, and maybe I don't want to show this on YouTube. yeah, and they had a lot of huge sculptures as well. So yeah, check out the video if you want. Otherwise, let's go straight into editing the exciting photos from this day. Well, mostly photos of the artwork from my grandfather. Okay, Photoshop, let's go. So this is a photo I have already edited. That's why it looks so clean. I took my, in case you're wondering, I took my GR1 with me. This is a GR1 photo with flash. And I took my Z7 with the 24-70 because when you photograph art pieces, then yeah, resolution can help. And I wanted to be flexible. I knew that I would not need super wide angle lenses. This is near the entrance, and already in the beginning, when you enter the hall, you go straight. You can see my grandfather's artwork. This is my mother here, and her socks match these balls. Yeah, I think I will apply, as always, my little profile and then just adjust the photos along the way. I have to be careful because there might be some photos of my mother that she might not want me to show. So also we took some photos from each other in front of the artwork. Yeah, I might not even finish all the photos, but you can see a little bit of it. So these are GR1 photos. So these ones I have to apply it onto all the Ricoh files. What is this? Z7, okay. Okay, so maybe this is edited. Okay, then I will just apply these onto all of these. Yeah, this is just a detail, but it helps having resolution when you take photos of other artwork. I'm also not going to do my selection. I'm not going to select photos here, even though my mother might need some of those photos for an article, but I'm just going to make them look presentable. Check the white balance. So, yeah, we can talk about this or something else. Did you hear about the XE5 rumors and news? Fujifilm XE5. I just watched this rumors guy video with the first leaked photos, and I'm excited for all the Fujifilm street photographers because it sounds like an amazing camera for street. And yeah, I think it's cool. Especially that new pancake, 35mm pancake. That is, yeah, really, I think it's a really interesting camera. I think it will sell very well, but yeah, I'm not going to get it, but I think it's cool. I think people should get it if they are in the Fujifilm ecosystem and want to use it for street. It would be so cool if Ricoh would make a camera like the XE5, XE4. A bigger camera with a Ricoh GR interchangeable lens. How long the exhibition will last? Until October. It is near Kiel. I think you're German, right? So you know where Kiel is. Kiel is not far away from Hamburg, and it's a small, very small town next to Kiel. I can show you the flyer here. I'm looking for it. I think I have a photo of it. Oh, you can Google it. Nordart. Yeah, here. So, yeah. Beginning of October. That's when it ends. And yeah, Japan is one focus, Poland and China. So, yo. Yeah, it was an interesting experience because being in the middle of the art world and not being part of it, but somehow being a part of it for a day, it was interesting. Also, I tried to do some street photography style photos here because it's kind of fun to do that with other art, and but I was not really in the zone for that. Okay, let me go up again, back to. There was so much weird art. Like, what is this? Just knees. These look so saturated, and I don't remember ever pulling up the blacks. This is strange. Okay. Saturation down. White balance looks weird. Now it looks warm. Yeah, it does need to be perfect. Okay, let me check the chat. Hey Daniel, thanks for a question. You are asking a question that comes up at every last live stream I do on my son. On every Sunday live stream, the same question comes up, but it's okay. I'm happy to answer it every time. So the reason I choose to use Photoshop over Lightroom is because with Lightroom I don't use the catalog, or I've never really liked the catalog system. Maybe I'm too old school, but I prefer using folders and have my own system or structure. And Camera Raw in Photoshop is basically the same as Lightroom. I mean the raw developer. And I like that I have to finish this. Now you don't really see it because the live chat is blocking it, but you see all the thumbnails of the files I dragged into Photoshop, and I can close this. If I close it, then I have to... Oh wait, I think the edits are applied, but somehow it feels like I have to finish this. In Lightroom, because you always see the photos, you tend to not finish, or at least in my case, I sometimes did not finish editing or archiving my photos properly, and then it just became a mess. So I just like to be done with it. Yeah, in one go, just one session, and then close Photoshop and done. And yeah, they did not... basically the artwork here for my grandfather is not how it's supposed to look. He's not alive anymore, so he was not able to do this himself, obviously, but also the gallery in Tokyo was not able to come and make sure it's all correct. So I don't know who did this, but if you want to learn a little bit about what this here means, it's the title is, I think, what was it? Flower, Sun and Moon or something like that. Flower, Blossoms and Moon. Sorry, I don't even know the name anymore. But this is, if you know a little bit about Japanese culture and this, for example, this is a very famous school sports game. There's a red team and a white team, and they all throw balls into the baskets. And the team that has all the balls in the basket wins. And there are also like pachinko details in here, like all these little balls. If you know pachinko, that it's like Japanese, the legal Japanese gambling system. And yeah, he often used. Also he's obviously doing pop art, but he was known for creating humorous or he was always saying laughter is a theme, but the topic is often serious. So I thought this has also some war themes, but I don't think so. But also his artworks also they show up in other pieces as well. And I know this is just one small part of other artworks he makes. So, but what I wanted to say is these baskets are supposed to sit in front of the painting in the middle of the balls, because that's where the balls would land if they don't go into the basket. So by them being here in the middle, it has a different feel. It's not right. So we have to find out who did this, and maybe they can fix it. Oops. Oh yeah, here you can see the title. So yeah, the title is Battle of Snow, Moon and Flowers from 1993. If you scan this QR code, you can see a better description online. Okay. Yeah, I think these are fine. Up. Yeah, you can see my brother and my mother here. Oh, my mouse, come on. Okay. What is this? Oh, man. Oh, too blue. Yeah, so now we will see some other art pieces. I didn't even get to see all of them. It was too much. There was a lot of art that I did not understand. But who does understand it all? But yeah, you can see it was a very huge place. Time for a cookie. No, don't worry, Daniel. It's okay, because I don't expect everyone to show up to every Sunday stream. So absolutely no problem. Yeah, the motivation, yeah, exactly. I just want to complete a session, basically. Not basically a project, but yeah, a session. Japanese invented basketball. I don't think so. I know Japanese is strong in baseball, but yeah, it's kind of like basketball. Basketball. I mean, the sports game. Wait, is my video still playing? No. Okay. Good evening, back to you, G. Uh-oh, we are slowly going to see some not suitable for YouTube body parts. But these streams are not monetized, and they are not going to stay on my channel after they go offline. But I don't know if I want to show you. It's very creepy. It's from a Chinese artist. Topic was obviously something around body. What's the word? I don't remember it in English. Body image or... Okay. For 1 second I'm going to show you, and then we will move on to the next. Get ready. Boom. Oh. Should be fine now. Oh, we will see it again. Okay, one more time. Ah! Yeah, I'm only developing the photos. That's what I also often say in my streams, that I don't care that it looks perfect. I'm just correcting them because they're raw files. If I show you how they look without any edits, it's like this. It doesn't look good. So it's just the developing phase. And then if I ever need to do something with the photos, then at least I have photos that already look presentable. Oh shit, no. Selfie. So here with this Pinocchio piece, they were saying that this is, of course, just a symbolic image for any kind of leader or puppet master that is basically controlling us. And then they said, it's whoever you want it to be. Something like that. And then multiple times during the opening ceremony, some artists or politicians were also invited. And they were always using this to say, they would always say like, this is this guy or this is this guy. So maybe that was the artist's intention. There was also one guy with a camera here. I mean, one figure, bronze figure with a camera. I think this guy here. I don't know if I took a photo of him. Yeah, there are way too many photos in here. I don't need this much. Someday I have to select the ones I'm going to keep. But I'm not going to do it tonight. Okay, now we can see some photos from the opening ceremony. I think this guy was the most important person of this festival. Forgot his name. But you can also see these weird socks, or what is this? Ropes, and then shoes on the ropes. And this guy told us that the meaning behind this is that we all go through life. We all walk through life, but we have a lot of hurdles and we all have these knots in our life, basically. Something like that. Oh yeah, art is funny. There weren't too many pieces where I stopped and I felt touched, or some emotions were maybe it's because my brother would criticize almost everything. He really wasn't a fan of this. This guy's from the Japanese embassy from Hamburg. The only reason I took a photo of him is because my mother needs a photo of him for her article. My brother here sleeping during the opening. Is someone also editing while watching this? I know Danny probably is. If you are, let me know what you are editing on right now. What are you working on? It would be cool if we could have like a virtual room where everyone could stream how they edit, and then it would feel like we would all be in like a co-working space or something like that. Yo, Patrick, welcome. Better late than never, right? That's the saying. Not editing, working. So, okay, I hope I'm not distracting you from work then. Yeah, so to recap what I'm doing here, I have to edit some photos from a international art exhibition opening day. Not official opening day, but an art piece of my grandfather is also exhibited there, and my mother and my brother and I were on the guest list for this artist meetup, and I wanted to take some photos. Yeah, I kind of like this photo. It's almost like the painting here in the background is almost like what's going on in front of it. So much going on. And I have photos from yesterday I might edit. Some street photography. But we will see. I'm a little tired, and tomorrow is a holiday here in Germany, and we want to chill, and it would be nice to go to bed early and sleep in a little longer tomorrow. Okay, this one is blurry. That's my mother. I know she doesn't like me to show her, so not going to finalize these photos here on stream, but just do this and apply it onto all of these files and continue with those. Wait, I need this and apply it on this. I like this one here. This is cool. My mother taking a photo here with her phone. Okay, but I'm almost done. Oh. It's so annoying to correct white balance. I hope we will have some AI plugin in the future in Photoshop or Lightroom where it just, I mean, you can always use auto white balance, of course, but it never really looks right. Right? But it would be cool if we had have some help with that in the future. Okay. Still doesn't look right, but yeah, it's okay. Yeah, we should really find a way to have a virtual room where everyone can join and live stream the editing session, their editing session. You need a fast computer for that because editing photos is already hard on a computer. Well, it depends on your system, on your machine. But then on top of that, streaming it and using a camera like I do and microphone, it's a little bit much, but it would be cool. Because editing is a lonely thing. I usually watch YouTube videos or Amazon Prime series or movies or whatever on my second screen. Which, to be honest, sometimes I wish I would not stream and just watch a movie or something, but it's okay. Sometimes even after the stream, I edit some more and then watch whatever I want to watch. But my idea with this was to be available once a week. So for anything. If you want to discuss something or want to say how much you hate my channel, you can come here and say it to my face. But I have met people in person that that are following the stream every week, and it was nice meeting people then for the first time and then remember their username, and that's cool, even if it's just a small group. And maybe this is also a more interesting way of sharing photos. I mean, you don't see my keepers, you see all the photos, every little photo, so it takes away the magic. And yeah, but maybe this is this is definitely different than sharing images on Instagram, because I can share more stories. You can see what worked, what didn't work. And then when I end up posting photos on Instagram, you know, like, oh, I saw these on the stream, and these are the ones he finally selected. Almost done. Yeah, I'm done. Okay, cool. Yeah. So usually I would save JPEGs and RAW files, but in this case I'm only going to save the RAWs because I need to work on them a bit more for my mother and for the gallery in Tokyo maybe. And I want to concentrate for that, so just going to save this here now. Going to switch to this camera, and then let me see. I guess we can look over some more street photos from yesterday. Should be fine. In the meantime, let me check the chat. Maybe some photos from a workshop, from the workshop yesterday in Hamburg. Yeah, I might do that actually. Are you one of the ones who participated yesterday? That would be interesting if that's if you are one of us. Yeah, yesterday overall I think it was a good day, even though we had bad weather. It rained a lot. But Hamburg has a lot of rainy days, so at least it was authentic. But I took a lot of photos just to show something, and those are mostly boring. And not a lot of cool things happened, unfortunately. But that's always how it is with street photography. I have my locations, my spots, but when it rains, not many people go outside, and there was some cool scenes that we worked on for longer, but yeah, wish there were a little bit more interesting scenes overall. But we can have a look at the photos, and I know I like 2 or 3 of them, but you know, my main goal is not to come home with cool photos, but to have a good workshop day and hopefully leave people inspired and motivated to keep on going. I'm searching for my photos here. We have already June. Okay, so June 2025. Yeah, okay, let's do it. During COVID, I used to share my screen while I practiced Blender while a group of friends rendered on their side. Yeah, I think a lot of people did something like that during COVID. I also, we used Discord and Twitch sometimes. I used Twitch a lot during the pandemic, and I had friends join me just to hang out. And my friend Bello, who you might remember if you remember the old days, he and I, we would sometimes meet in the morning, not share our screens, but just call us on FaceTime or Zoom or whatever. Or he was using some other service. He would send me a link. I would join him, and then we would just work. And we would not even talk to each other most of the times, but we would always hear what the other is doing. So it felt less lonely when working at home. Okay, we have an interesting question here from Lim2001 Burger. Probably not the right place and don't want to interrupt, but I'm curious how you like to shoot other people's art. With the stuff you edited, the shots with people in it are more interesting. First of all, this is the right place to interrupt and to ask whatever you want to ask, because that was my main goal with these streams. If I want to be focused and edit by myself, I would just not stream it. So I appreciate all the comments and questions. So I think if I understood you correctly, then I don't know if I got what you mean at the end. The shots with the people in it are more interesting. So the photos you saw, I took these mostly for my mother and the gallery in Tokyo, who might want to see photos from the artwork of my grandfather, because they are representing his work, and they were not able to be there in person, visit Germany. So I took photos for them, for me as well, as a memory. And my mother writes articles for a Japanese newspaper in Germany, for Japanese people living in Germany. And she wants to write an article about this exhibition. So I took a lot of photos that just have the artwork in it, because this is what my mother needs. And then I will take some photos that look more like street photos for myself, for fun. But I wasn't really looking to get amazing photos, because I was with my brother, who I also haven't seen in a long time. And we were just hanging out as a family. So, but yeah, I'm not interested in just taking photos of other people's art. I'm more interested in where the art is placed, the environment, and how the environment reacts to the art. There has to be some kind of conversation between the art and what's around it. So if I see people in front of an art piece, then I want to create some kind of relationship. And if I would have been there by myself, maybe I would have taken more photos like that. I hope that answered your question. Chinese fan ho? Fan haha? I don't know what you mean. Yeah, people interacting with art seems more compelling. Yeah, obviously I agree, but most of the photos were not taken with that in mind in this case. I miss how Bello and the other of your friends doing YouTube vlogs and have fun with it on the street, like on the COVID days. Hope you do it again. Yeah, that's cool that you remember these videos and you like them. Let me switch to Photoshop. Yeah, the good old days, right? Hopefully something like COVID is not happening again, but if something like that happens again, then I might do some vlogs again. But yeah, I don't have many friends anymore from that time who are still interested in photography and doing something together. Bello is not really doing any photography. He's really into, he just finished, or he is soon finishing. I don't know if he finished or not. I think he finished. He studied communication design, what I also studied. But his focus was on, I think it was on, now his focus is completely on artificial intelligence. He knows a lot more about it than I do. He even works on some models, and he also learned how to code and stuff like that. So that's his interest at the moment. And but if you want to see him back on the channel, I'm currently thinking about doing a AI episode, Street Life Show episode, where we focus on AI and really try to think about it seriously and just think about it, because I did one video with him actually also in the car where we talked about the metaverse, which is totally irrelevant at the moment. No one cares about it. But we thought that this is the next thing. And then Bello and I, we would philosophize and come up with ideas how this could change the future. But in the end, it didn't really develop into anything. But maybe we do this again live on the show, and maybe I bring him in as the AI expert. And he could share his knowledge and view. And we as photographers could try to share our point of view and maybe do like an AI episode. Yeah, because if I do a video on this topic, then I would need someone to help me with that, or at least interview someone who has more knowledge, because I'm not even using ChatGPT. I still don't even know how to do it. I know you can now have an app or using the browser. I don't know. The only AI I use in my daily life is not even something I had to find and seek out. It's just the Google AI summary you get when you type in the browser, you have a question or want to Google something. Then Google is using their AI to show you a summary. That's super useful, and I appreciate that. That's the only AI I use, other than some audio plugins and stuff that help me make my videos and audio tracks cleaner. So I'm really an AI noob, you would say. Okay. Yeah, Jay Rose, also I don't know if he's really active anymore. I think he's taking photos for fun on the side, but I don't know. I've also haven't talked to him in a while. So okay, cool. We have Sven here editing photos from Amsterdam while watching the stream. Nice. With a recently purchased GR3X. Cool, congratulations. Editing them in black and white, the light was amazing, so perfect for that. Yeah, Amsterdam is a cool city. Can't go wrong with doing street photography in Amsterdam. Good evening, guten Abend. Guten Abend to you, Timiki971. Yeah. The J Rose London vlog days. Yeah, that was fun times. Yeah. I wish I could have someone to do videos together with on a regular basis, because that's so much fun and it's also fun to watch. I just don't have someone like that at the moment, because my close friends are either not living close to me, or they are not really active anymore. And people I go shoot with in Hamburg, it's mostly just David and Wolfgang from Rico sometimes, but we don't really make videos. David also doesn't really want to be on camera most of the times, which is also fine. But yeah, when Bello was still active, then no one could stop us. We were unstoppable. And he was more aggressive than I was, but he motivated me to, or he pushed me to also be more aggressive. Now with David, he's more of an observer who is quieter in his approach, but I also am like that. So we work well together, but we are not really, I don't think we are pushing each other, you know? So I think someone like that to work together on videos, also on projects, that would be cool, and probably also good for the channel. But I'm not living in London or New York, so gotta work with whatever I have available in North Germany. Yeah, these photos are just nothing. This was during the workshop yesterday. I like to start here to warm up, because a lot of people are taking photos here of the pigeons, and gives you an excuse to shoot and not look weird. We were waiting for something cool to happen. There was one small group who was also taking photos. They had, I don't know, some bread or something to give to the pigeons, and that was cool. But yeah, usually people here, they walk through the birds, or children would play. People would hang out here and chill, but because it was a very rainy, overcast day and cold, actually very cold, not too much happened. What is this? Yeah, here we wanted to check out, this is a spot where people look up, because there are mirrors inside. And one of us, he asked if we could do something with it, because he knew this. And I wanted to show him that inside you don't really see you can't really see the people reflected in it. So you can take photos, it looks cool, but for me it's not that interesting. But outside you can always count on people to go on and look up. So yeah, we were trying to basically show how you can use something like this, where people are constantly stopping. Then I try to use it as a frame, and it's just to give ideas. Okay. I don't know why I put them in, I didn't shoot them in color. Let me put them back into, I didn't shoot them in black and white. I shot them in color, so let me switch back to to color. Where did I stop? Oh, here. Weep. Okay. Going to check the chat and then keep on editing. Do you want to go to China to take pictures? Sure. I was in China only once in my life, in Shanghai in 2010. And I did do some street photography back then, even though I did not know a lot about street photography, but I really enjoyed it. And yeah, it's just too far away from me at the moment, because even Japan, I can't really go back to Japan at the moment. But yeah, I would love to go to China someday to take photos. Oh, yeah, Svenja is saying that he saw the video from Amsterdam where we did the Rico event and he did not know that we had this event. Oh, you didn't have a Rico back then. Okay. Yeah, you can only join when you have a Rico. That's the point of these events, to do it for the existing customers. Maybe next time. But yeah, I don't know of any future plans. But I'm thinking of doing something in Amsterdam, maybe a workshop or photo walk or something, because it's not too far away. And I want to do some short trips in Europe this year. So we will see. I'm considering it. Definitely is on my list of realistically visitable, I don't know if this is a word, cities. Okay, here's another question. Have you found any material difference between APS-C versus full frame rather than just camera differences where you decide you cannot use APS-C and have to use full frame for some shoots? Good question, and let me think if I have a definitive answer to that, because even today I was thinking about that when I was watching the news report about the soon to be announced Fujifilm X-E5. I started to think back to the days when I was using my Fujifilm APS-C camera for street photography. Now I'm using mostly, of course, besides my Ricoh GRs, I'm using my Nikon full frame cameras. And in general, I think for street photography, APS-C has more benefits than full frame for street photography. But I don't only do street photography, and for a lot of the things I like to do, full frame has more advantages and APS-C limits me. For example, obviously low light. If I can, I like to use full frame for low light situations, because bigger sensor, bigger pixels just give you better performance. And with APS-C, I have to use slower shutter speeds. But I know you're talking about other differences besides the obvious ones. And I don't think there are important differences outside of these obvious ones. If I think about, maybe, is there a difference in terms of colors? Both can shoot in 14-bit, so colors should be the same. Some people say they can see a difference in terms of sharpness and dynamic range, but I don't think. I think it's the camera depends on the camera model and system. Some APS-C cameras, they look much more, they look bad and not very clean. Or Fujifilm APS-C sensors, they have a different sensor type or technology. They use the X-Trend sensor and not the typical Bayer pattern sensor. This is getting too nerdy, but yeah, Fujifilm has a more organic look when you zoom into the files, but you don't see the pixel next to each other. It's more organic, but it also means when you zoom in, it doesn't look as crisp and sharp as, let's say, a Ricoh GR or other APS-C sensor files with the traditional sensor type. But yeah, to me the biggest difference is depth of field, lens choices, of course, and low light capabilities. I would like to always use APS-C for street, but I don't have any APS-C cameras other than my GRs. I could still use my Fujifilm X-H1, but I use it for my live streams, and I don't want to take it off the tripod. And I don't like switching too many systems. I want to keep using one because then you get better with it. So can't think of any other differences. Maybe if anyone watching has other ideas, you can share it in the chat. When you print photos from an APS-C sensor, let's say A4 size, so 20 by 30 or 30 by 45, so bigger, they look mostly the same in my experience. So yeah, when I saw that the XE5 is going to be announced soon, it looks like such a complete package for street photography. I had the XE4 for a while and it was great for street photography. It didn't have IBIS. The new one is going to have IBIS. So yeah. For example, here f5.6, but the foreground is still out of focus. With APS-C shooting the same aperture, the foreground here would be a bit more in focus. It can definitely make a difference. Unless you want that shallow depth of field look. Like here, I'm not even sure where I focused. Probably on the people here. But here the box that later was open and you see the pizza inside is not in focus anymore. Even at 6.3 aperture. Yeah. Yo, Liban, what's up? I was just talking about you a few minutes ago when I was talking about the reason for doing these streams. And even though it's a small community, I met people offline, people like you, who were telling me that they watch the stream and also edit on the side. So, what's up? Oh, so many new comments. Okay, let me check. Oh, your G here is listening while cycling. Okay, be careful. Don't blame me for any accidents. Don't type and cycle. Exactly. I bought a Nikon ZF with Leipoch 28 after watching your video. Very nice. Cool. Yeah. I hope you like it, and I mean, you're saying that you like it, so yeah, it's a cool combination, and I also use it a lot. And yesterday I would have used it, but because the forecast said that it was going to rain, I ended up using a weather-sealed autofocus lens instead. But I really enjoy the workflow with the ZF and the 28 Leipoch. Yeah, good point here from Timothy. We were talking about full frame and APS-C differences. Yeah, lens size is of course a huge factor. Yeah, when I think back, when I was using Fujifilm, having all these small lenses was definitely, or let's say, it's a good experience when you use small lenses on the street. With my ZF, the lenses are, yeah, usually bigger, and I'm used to it now, but sometimes I miss those small little Fujifilm APS-C lenses. Oh, if you could only own one focal length, what would it be? This is such a hard question to answer because I always use two a lot. And I know I would miss one focal length if I choose the other. So for me, it's always 28 and 40. Or at least since the GR3 X came out, 40 has been my go-to second focal length. And I even use it more than 28 nowadays, but it's really hard to answer that. Maybe I would still use 28 because it is more versatile, but I would really miss a 40. Yeah. Kuss in the chat. Was redest du? Eastblock Boy! Professor Besserwisser. Jetzt kommt's. Do you think the Westfield Center and Überseequartier are good for doing street photography? Erstmal cooler Name. Do you think the Westfield Center? Yeah. Yeah, there's always something going on at the Westfield Center. So this is a mall in Hamburg for people who don't know. A new mall in Hamburg and has cool architecture. On the weekends it's very busy. I've only visited 2 times so far, and I can't say, but it looks good. I think potentially it is a good place. I would definitely go there and try to do some street photography. And you mean the Überseequartier station? That's also nice, but it's nice because of the background. Everything is blue. There's not too much happening at the station, but it is a cool location. So yes, I would say yes. How did you like the Pentax K3 monochrome for street photography? Too big? Yeah. I only had one zoom lens available, so Pentax sent me this zoom lens to use with the K3 monochrome, and that was a very big lens. It's bigger than my full frame zoom lenses. I really did not understand why it has to be this big, so it always felt like a huge DSLR, not really like a street photography camera. But of course you can use smaller lenses, and I like the K3 monochrome. I'm also very happy and satisfied with the results I got. Actually, the zoom lens wasn't that good because I have other lenses to compare it to, and I was a bit disappointed, to be honest. But if you use one of those smaller limited lenses, it should be a great camera for that. The body feels so robust, but still being ergonomic and small enough to be a street photography camera. The dials are so satisfying to use. Yeah. Other than the lenses or the lens choices, I would say it can be a great street photography camera. Definitely not too big when you use the right lenses. Okay, I have to move on and keep editing here. So, yeah, okay. What was I doing here? Yeah, what I sometimes like to do is make everyone. So these are photos taken during the workshop yesterday. What I like to do is make everyone pick a spot and then just stand there for 10 minutes and take photos from the same point of view. But you are allowed to move to how do you say, to look around you 360 degrees, but you are not allowed to move even one step. Because first of all, you have to see where you potentially get the most opportunities. And then, so you have to think ahead, like, okay, maybe this has the most potential, so let me stay here and see what's going to happen. And then the other benefit is that you start to blend in with the environment and people who show up, and new people will not see you as someone entering their space, because you are already in their space. They're entering your space. And you will also learn that, or experience that, a lot of interesting things can happen around you, even if you don't expect it. So I picked this spot here. I was also checking what the others are doing, so I didn't really have the full 10 minutes, but this was one point of view. Just saw this balloon. I was like, okay, that's new. Haven't seen that. Then I turned around and I noticed that people would throw their cigarettes away here, or put them off, which I also have not thought about yet, but try to run up to someone doing this and not get noticed. It's hard, but if you're already standing in front of it, then it's easy. Try to do something like this, but didn't really look good. Looked on the other side again. Not too interesting, but once you have a composition, you can also wait for more things to happen. You're prepared then. Because sometimes we are not prepared because we are still setting up the shot. So when you pick one spot, then you can be ready. Well, if something cool happens, that is. Okay, and that's me in the bathroom. Taking a selfie with my long zoom lens here. So we're now at the harbor. These things, I haven't seen them in a while, but I remember when they started to, when the city started to use them, was probably back in 2010 or 11. So it's a long time ago. I haven't seen them in a long time. Yeah, then we went up to the Elbphilharmonie building, which I always like to go to, because they have some cool spots where the light is interesting. Like the obvious thing here to do is use people as for silhouettes. But what you also can do is, when you turn the other side, like your eyes, they don't see like this. Like your eyes, they see a high dynamic range, so you see more like this. Like this is how it looked in real life. But the camera doesn't have the same dynamic range. So you can also play with that. And then this person on the right here was sometimes leaning against this wall or pillar, and we made one of us stand here to try something out. Or not yet. But also this is like a very clean frame right now, right? And I've never taken a cool photo with this composition. I also saw that for the first time, but now I know that I should probably work on something like this, and maybe have, if someone would lean up against this here, or people would be here on the left, that could be cool. Yeah, and then we basically simulated it, because no one would stand here, unfortunately. And of course, you can then also play with slow shutter speeds. If someone would really stand still here, then you could do this. Yeah, then was a little wedding couple shoot going on. This should be color. Why is this black and white? I don't know. But that was difficult to photograph them without obviously photographing them. No. You can play with reflections here, but there are too many reflections and you don't really see through the glass. They are tinted windows. And here, obviously, this could have been a cool scene. I was standing here. They saw me in the reflection because it's basically a huge mirror. They saw me already. So I was like, ah, damn it. I have to go more to the right. But then it didn't look as nice anymore. No. This was kind of cool. So yeah, let's make them all color. Okay, then we took the ferry. Let me see the chat. Oh, which street photography book you recommend the most? Well, I don't own it and I don't have it. I've never seen it in person, but it should probably be Reclaim the Street by Matt Stewart and the other guy who also was involved in Street Photography Now. Street Photography Now was the first book that I saw about street photography, made me really interested in it. And Reclaim the Street is kind of an updated version of that. I would say that's the one that, if you're curious about street photography, you should probably check out. I should probably get one to have it, but I have not. I don't know. I want to save some of my money for something else. Okay, and I've already seen the next question, and I have an answer for that because it ties in with the photos you're about to see. And the question was, do you always have an idea in mind when you do street photography, or do you just shoot randomly? So it depends, but usually I have a vague idea about what I'm going to do before I go out. For example, it begins with selecting the location. I'm focusing mostly in photographing Hamburg because I don't really care too much about doing street photography in other cities if I don't spend a lot of time in the city, because I will always just take the tourist shots. I might get lucky and get an interesting photo, but I also can't really do something with the photos. But when I'm taking photos in Hamburg, then I think about the location and try to be a little bit more strategic. Maybe go to some events that are only happening once a year, or I go to a district where I haven't been yet, or haven't taken a lot of photos yet. Or maybe I go out with an idea in mind, let's say, it's going to rain, so maybe I will focus on umbrella scenes with umbrellas. But I also know everything is random on the street, and I want to be open to discover something new. And here, for example, we wanted to take the ferry to go to the harbor, to Landungsbrücken. So just one station. And I like to take the ferry sometimes because you can always take them with the public transport ticket. And sometimes you would see something cool, and then you can have the harbor in the background. Now, on this day, it was a rainy day, not too many people outside. And also once everyone sits, then the scene doesn't really change. But this guy here was kind of interesting with his umbrella. He also had some interesting tattoos. And of course, I was drawn to the umbrella, and my hope was that the wind would get so strong that his umbrella would flip over or maybe fly away. That was my scene, basically. Unfortunately, it did not happen. I really expected it to happen. So you see a bunch of photos here where it could have happened and maybe it could have worked. So let's say a composition like this, and then let's just imagine this guy's umbrella folded over. Maybe he's even like trying to hold on to it and looking up. That would be nice. That would be fun. And this was my whole focus. I did nothing else because there was nothing else going on. And I knew if I just wait and get the right time, catch it at the right time, then that would be something worth doing. But yeah, it just did not work out. So sometimes that's how it is. Yes, here's he again. I at least wanted him again just from the front. But it's worth it to try it. If I would run around like a crazy person, like go downstairs and go upstairs and look what's behind me, then I might miss an opportunity. Like maybe what I wished to happen here would happen the moment I turn around. So I have to decide then, okay, this is my focus, and then work the scene until it's over. So yeah, and here it ended with us getting off. So I like this crop here. Maybe do this. Yeah. Yeah, that was just good timing that you asked me this question at this moment. Would be interesting to see a POV or vlog from your workshop. So David, who I go out to take photos with and who helps me film my YouTube videos, he is currently in New York with his girlfriend for vacation. Also doing some street photography for the first time in New York. If he would be here, then I would have asked him to come film the workshop, because I want to promote them more, and maybe I don't know, maybe have a little bit of a video on my website as a document to show what to expect and how it can look like. So I had this idea, but also I don't want to film myself while doing the workshop. It would be too much. I could not handle it. So maybe the next time, I'm planning to do one in August and September again. Also, I might do one in Vienna, just because I would have the opportunity in August to do that. I don't know the date yet, but I probably will do one. But I will also do one in Hamburg and keep doing them. So maybe next time I can film it. This I just took for myself because I haven't seen this. This is a beer brand from Hamburg. For me, it's just an important detail to have because it's something from Hamburg. Yeah, and speaking of umbrellas, this staircase here, I often look for opportunities to take photos here. I don't know if I have a photo on my website maybe from this scene. I think I have one photo. Maybe it's not on my website. No, it's not on my website. But yeah, I know where to find it, but I don't want to search for it now. But I like this because you see this is the Landungsbrücken station where everyone gets off to the harbor. This is new, this sign. So this is for me an important detail. But also this building, this little tower here is everywhere when you see historic Hamburg photos. So this is a good spot to be. But when everyone is having umbrellas, then that's even better. And I already have a photo with a lot of umbrellas. But also we were able to stand under a roof next to a little food corner. So we were also able to stay dry. Yeah, and then we tried some things like doing a wide angle. So we have this in the frame, this clock, or do a close-up where we zoom in. And it's just this is like a stage. And you just need to wait for the right people. And we were also hoping for some scenes where this happens. It didn't happen too much. It always it kept happening up here. So sometimes I would go up to get it from upstairs. Wait. Yeah, sometimes I would go up to get something, but it never really came together how I wanted it to come together. Then I saw these two here, and then they had these Hamburg umbrellas, so kept following them. And then this I think works, but also I wanted to wait a bit longer, but then I realized, I'm totally in the way here. She needs to grab it, so I moved away. But this is also another perspective you can use. Yeah, not too exciting, but it was raining a lot. Let me move on. Yeah, and then you often see here, I also like scenes like this. This is nothing spectacular, but through the signs, you see the Fischbrötchen, everything. And you also see these, what's it called? Bachelor party groups. So this guy's obviously about to get married, and they often come to the harbor, so it's always good to also have a photo of them. Then we had not a lot of sun that day, but suddenly the sky cleared up a bit and the light was amazing, but we were basically ending the day here. We just had some beers and ended the day. But from my seat, I turned around and I thought, wow, this is so beautiful, the light. And then this bus came. Now these two, it's good that they're standing here. It's like a good position, but they're not really doing anything cool. If they would, it's kind of cliche, but if they would kiss or hug each other, or maybe they're about to leave, so they are going to say bye, or they're waving to the bus, or whatever. Something more than just standing there would have been cool. Yeah. But the light was nice. That's why I still snapped it. Okay. That's it. We are done. Back to the chat. Oh, wait. Let me finish. I just need to press done and then I'm done. So we can move out from Photoshop, away from Photoshop. Could you spell it? My English listening is very poor. I don't know what you mean by that. Probably something I said a long time ago. You mean street photography book? Yeah, if I could spell the name. Yeah, reclaim the street. I will type it in the chat. If you Google that, you should find it. I think I've never seen it in person, so I'm just recommending it based on its relevancy, because it came out fairly recently. Yeah, as you say, if you have a topic for a location, then it's definitely easier to work with, and it gives you a goal to look for instead of waiting for a lucky coincidence. That's not likely to happen. Yeah. Sometimes I like to wait for coincidences, but it's very rare that it really happens, and you have to anticipate and almost summon, or is it the word? Summon the coincidence by focusing on it before it happens. And yesterday it did not work because it was not I don't know, it was not the day. But when the day is good, when the weather is good, when I'm in good mood, I mean, I was in good mood yesterday, but then I often tell people like, look, if this would happen now, or imagine if this person would do something with this person, and then there would be this bird in the background, and then while I'm explaining it, it happens. And that happens so often. But yesterday it did not happen that much. Oh, one time it happened when I was telling everyone that it would be cool to see, someone on the stairs with the umbrella struggling to keep the umbrella under control. And as soon as I said it, not even 1 second, it happened, where one woman was like struggling to keep the umbrella straight because of the wind. So yeah, you have to know where to look for to see what is not what has not happened yet, something like that. I think most street photographers are like that. If you see someone catching a lot of crazy moments, you start to wonder, like, how do they even get these photos? And it's definitely not luck. They can be lucky, and there's a lot of luck involved, but it is for sure being prepared and knowing what to expect, or being experienced with all the coincidences that can happen. Like you can definitely have experience in seeing weird coincidences, and then they become more than experiences, coincidences, because they are not coincidences anymore if you see them repeat. For example, when people point their finger to something, like they're telling someone like, I think we have to go over there. Then you see it, and then they lower the arm, and then you are like, I wanted to have the finger. Just keep the camera at your subject, because the chances are very high that the same person will do it again, because you know how it is when you are with friends or with your partner, and then someone is like, I think we should go over there, and then you're not listening, right? Because you're figuring out it yourself, and you're like, what do you mean? Yeah, I mean here, and then people do it again. So yeah, if you catch a weird moment, coincidence, expect it to happen again. Okay, I'm done, guys. It all comes down to the last comments and questions here, if I keep stream or not. Okay, wait, we have some more comments. In London, some people carry ridiculously large umbrellas. I'm making a small collection of their images. Yeah, that's cool. Umbrellas are, yeah, I think I know what you mean. And in Hamburg, for example, there are not many interesting umbrellas, or everyone just uses whatever they want to use. But for example, in Japan, you often see these transparent umbrellas. So you can also find something that is that says something about the location. And I've never noticed a lot of huge umbrellas in London, but sounds like a cool idea to collect photos of that. Okay. I think we are done then. Yeah. Was a good session, even though I didn't archive any photos. I just developed them, but it's okay. I see you next Sunday, and let me think if I have anything to announce next week. So in terms of content on this channel, I actually have only one more video that is already uploaded. Just needs to I need to hear from the company whose lens I reviewed when the lens is going to be announced. So there's going to be a little video about that. I guess I can already tease it because it's not news anymore. It's the Chimera 21mm 1.4 from Zeipoch. And it's not really a test review. It's more like a out on the street using the lens kind of video. So hopefully I can post it soon because I don't have other content than that at the moment. And yeah, other than that, I will see you next Sunday again for another Sunday live editing stream. And of course I have interest in visiting Vietnam, Patrick. But I have interest in visiting a lot of places I haven't been to. I just don't have the time and the means to travel as much as I used to. Oh, Christian, welcome to the stream. Or I don't know if you've been following, but first time seeing you in the chat today. We see all of your photos on the ceiling. Where are you with your street books project? I don't want to end the stream on a negative note, but these photos are all photos from my Kyushu book project that I did with Alex, the Kyushu road trip. I should probably take them down because I don't really work on them anymore. And I put photos I work with on the ceiling to look at them. And I don't have any info, but let me just tell you this. Last Saturday, I also did a workshop just with one guy, one-on-one session basically. And he was a business consultant. And he basically told me that he doesn't care too much if we are going to do some street photography, he just want to chat. And he basically gave me a consulting session for the whole day because he really wanted to understand my business and not to talk too much about it, but he struggled to find the ideal solution for me because he knew that, yeah, I'm more of the artist type, so I don't care too much if I make like the most money I can make, and also there's no I don't have a like the I don't have how to say, there's not a huge market where my business is not serving a huge market, so it's really hard to scale what I'm doing. And he really wanted to find out how can you scale this and make more money and do everything to have more freedom and stuff like that. But he suggested that I should probably prioritize the books because I don't have anything to sell at the moment. And not that I want to do books just to sell them, but I want to make books because as a photographer, that's my number one priority, to have books out, because for me, only then the photos live on. On my hard drive, they don't do anything. On books, in book form, and other people owning these books, at least they have an afterlife, right? But also, he suggested that I should do a annual book, like something like Sean Tucker does. You know, he does his collection books, where he does a best of his street photography or photography of the year. And I think I could do something like that. I just need to figure out the distribution and how to ship it, and find a way to maybe outsource that so that I can keep on working on other things. So all I can say is that I'm now considering it, moving it up on my priority list, and maybe sacrifice my other projects so that at least I can have something out, maybe on a regular basis even. But yeah, you probably know I have a book in the works since the pandemic, basically. I'm just too scared to make a decision. But yeah, I'm thinking about it a lot. So that's all I can say. Okay, I talked a lot. I'm tired, and it's time to go to bed. So thanks for hanging out, and I see you next week. Yeah, have a great holiday for my fellow Germans here, and for the rest of the world, have a great start into your week. So, bye guys. Good night. Ciao, ciao.